extravagant acts of devotion. They are the pathway to the favor and the blessing of God and the goodness of God in your life. Jesus led the way with the greatest act of devotion ever in the history of the world. We say we follow Jesus. We say that we're trying to imitate his life as well and be like him. Well, a part of it is extravagant acts of devotion. Over the years, I've been privileged to meet some incredible men and women of God who've been mightily used of God. I've noticed a pattern that in most cases, these men and women have made incredible sacrifices along the way. Some have suffered great hardship and trial. Others have been rejected by family and friends and parents. Some have made great financial sacrifices to pursue the call of God. They made extravagant acts of devotion. And it seems to me that heaven took note and opened the heavens over their lives. Sacrifice, extravagant acts of devotion will open heaven and the blessing of God over your life. So why would you make extravagant acts of devotion? Let me give you some thoughts. Number one, I believe it will release spiritual power. Jesus' greatest act of devotion released the greatest power on the world, enough to bring transformation to lives, fruitfulness, healings, breakthroughs, you name it. All of it. The release of power from that to impact cities and nations still felt 2,000 years later. It's a biblical truth. The greater the sacrifice, the greater the release of spiritual power. The challenge is, how can we make such sacrifices to release God's power in our lives and ministries? Problem? What's our problem? We live in a consumer generation. I want. We want every need and desire met. To talk about sacrifice, extravagant act of devotion, touches a raw nerve. And many just back away and say, no, please don't talk about that. In some places, churches have preached the good life gospel. Come to Jesus. He's going to answer your prayers. He's going to meet your needs. And the message of sacrifice has been relegated to a place of lesser importance. But I want to say this. When you remove sacrifice, you lose power. No cross, no resurrection. No cross, no resurrection. C.T. Studd, great missionary, gave up being an all-England cricketer. He could have lived in luxury, but he gave away a fortune of $145,000, which today would be tens of millions of dollars. And he went to China and Africa as a missionary. That great sacrifice released tremendous spiritual power over his life, and he became one of the greatest missionaries who impacted nations for Jesus Christ and saw great blessing everywhere or many places that he went. And he said these words. See if you can grab a hold of this. If Jesus Christ be God and died for me, then no sacrifice can be too great for me to make for him. You might want to reflect on that and meditate on that. If Jesus Christ be God and died for me, then no sacrifice can be too great for me to make for him. I remember years ago when God was moving powerfully even in our nation. Many got radically saved. And all anyone wanted to do, or many of us wanted to do, was to serve God full time. We'd give up our professions, our careers, our incomes. It didn't matter. We just wanted to serve God and fulfill his plan and his purpose for our lives. It's my prayer that that level of surrender and sacrifice and willing to give all for Jesus will be restored to the church in our day. Because I think with that, the gospel will advance at great pace and impact the nation and the nations of the world.